A courtroom is designed to be controlled, predictable, almost boring. But every once in a while, a single sentence detonates that illusion. One sharp line, delivered with frustration instead of formality, can turn legal procedure into viral spectacle. That's exactly what happened here, when a routine exchange suddenly exploded into a moment that nobody in that room, and millions online, would forget. Before we go any further, this is one of those stories where context changes everything. Clips don't tell the full truth, emotions run ahead of facts, and opinions form faster than understanding. So if you care about seeing the asterisk full picture asterisk, not just the loudest moment, make sure you're subscribed and stay with this all the way to the end. The real lesson comes later. What you're about to hear isn't just about a lawyer losing his temper. It's about pressure, power, respect, and how fast authority can be questioned when the cameras start rolling. Watch until the end because what seems like crazy drama at first slowly reveals something far more uncomfortable and far more human. The moment itself was brief, but heavy. A witness speaks in a way that feels casual, almost familiar. The lawyer snaps back, voice sharpened by irritation, drawing a hard boundary with a sentence that instantly sucked the air out of the room. The courtroom froze. That wasn't just anger. That was control being reclaimed. In legal spaces, words are currency. Every tone shift matters. Lawyers are trained to provoke clarity, not conflict, but pressure builds invisibly. When a witness answers loosely, evasively, or with attitude, it can derail an entire strategy. In that instant, the lawyer wasn't just responding to a person. He was responding to a threat to his case. What made the moment so explosive wasn't volume, it was contrast. Formal setting, informal response, authority meeting familiarity. Courtrooms are rigid by design, and when someone disrupts that rhythm, even unintentionally, it feels like disrespect. That friction is often where tempers flare. Online, the clip traveled without its weight. Viewers saw arrogance. Others saw justified frustration. Very few saw the layers beneath. The internet loves moments that can be reduced to heroes and villains, but courtrooms don't work that way. They're pressure cookers, not stages. Lawyers aren't robots, no matter how much the public expects them to be. They carry deadlines, reputations, clients' futures, and the silent judgment of the bench. Every question is a calculated move. When a witness resists that structure, even subtly, it can feel like sabotage. There's also the issue of power dynamics. A lawyer holds procedural authority, but a witness holds information. When that balance feels threatened, control becomes the priority. That sentence wasn't just emotional, it was strategic, even if poorly delivered. Court etiquette isn't about politeness for its own sake. It's about maintaining order so truth can emerge. When that order wobbles, reactions become sharper. That doesn't excuse anything, but it explains a lot. By the time the exchange ended, the damage was done. Not in the case itself, but in public perception. Because once something goes viral, it stops belonging to the people in the room. It belongs to everyone with an opinion. As the clip spread, reactions split cleanly down the middle. Some applauded the lawyer for putting the witness in her place. Others condemned the tone as unprofessional and unnecessary. Very few asked what led to that moment in the first place. This is where social media distorts reality. 10 seconds erase 10 minutes. Context dissolves. All that remains is emotion. And emotion travels faster than explanation. Gender also entered the conversation quickly. Would the response have been the same if the witness were male? Would the public reaction differ? These questions matter because authority is often interpreted differently depending on who holds it and who challenges it. Legal professionals watching saw something else entirely. They saw a crack, a moment where composure slipped. Not catastrophic, but human. In court, credibility is built not just on facts but on restraint. Witnesses, on the other hand, often don't realize the pressure they're under or causing. Nervousness can sound like disrespect. Defensiveness can look like attitude. What feels normal outside the courtroom can feel explosive inside it. Judges notice everything, even when they say nothing. Silence from the bench is not approval, but it's not condemnation either. It's control. The court moves on, even when the internet doesn't. Moments like this don't usually change verdicts, but they change narratives. From that point on, every action by that lawyer is filtered through that outburst. Every word is reinterpreted. There's a larger trend at play here. Courtrooms are no longer insulated spaces. They're content. Every gesture can be clipped, captioned, and weaponized. Professionals are being judged not just by the law, but by algorithms. That reality adds another layer of pressure. You're no longer just arguing a case. You're performing under potential global scrutiny. One sentence can overshadow years of discipline. For viewers, the temptation is to pick sides quickly. But moments like this ask for something harder: patience. Understanding how systems work before deciding who failed them. This wasn't just about rudeness. It was about boundaries being enforced too sharply, about professionalism colliding with emotion, about how thin the line really is. In the end, the courtroom moved on. The case continued. Life didn't stop, but the clip lived forever, detached from its origin, fueling debates it was never meant to carry. And that's the real drama. Not the sentence itself, but what we project onto it. Our expectations of authority, our discomfort with anger, our hunger for conflict. Because the truth is simple and unsettling, pressure reveals people, even trained professionals. Especially trained professionals. The next time you see a viral courtroom moment, remember this one. Remember how little you saw and how much you assumed. And remember that behind every crazy drama clip is a system under strain, and humans doing their best not to crack.